everybody. We are here. Welcome to the show. I'm actually going to start recording our before conversations and put them on because I think people would find it hilarious what we're talking about before we even come live.
And you know what? You could do that and use it as a shirt clip.
I'm going to. I'm actually going to start recording it. I think that's a new way to promote the shows to start recording those conversations because we all know my mouth really has no filter. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Tonight is going to be a great topic. I am so super interested to know what people are going to say live, what people are going to say on the replay, because we are going to be talking about cheating. The truth nobody talks about. And I'm actually going to put out a disclaimer right now. If you've ever been cheated on, if you are a cheater, we are going to say things that you may not like. So if you have not healed from being cheated on, if you don't want to be called out for being a cheater, maybe the show isn't for you, or maybe it is. I've been cheated on. I know what it's like. I'm healed from that. I think we have to have a raw, honest conversation because when we talk about cheating, it's often very one dimensional and we don't talk about what both sides of cheating look like and then the aftermath of cheating, but not even the aftermath, the before the cheating. No one talks about before the cheating. What maybe led up to the husband or the wife stepping out or the girlfriend, the boyfriend stepping out? Like, what really led up to that? Nobody talks about that. So we are going to talk about the full gamut. But again, if you are not healed from cheating, if you're going to be triggered by conversations of, this is Twin's favorite word, accountability, this might not be for you. But if you are good with wanting to know what we have to say, you are interested, you know that we always bring the truth because we're changing the conversation around Black relationships. Stick around because we have so much to say. So before we go into any of that, Twins, how has your week been?
This week's being wonderful. It's spring. Well, see, spring break is handled differently in the states because everybody doesn't have it at the same time. But this week, my kids they're on spring break, so they're living their best life. Now, granted, I don't have them this whole week, but I do give them this weekend, so we'll do something this weekend. But outside of that, it's been very quiet, nice and warm. Traffic has been really great because people are not here, so it's
True.
get back and forth to places now because everyone's traveling. I'm cool with
Listen.
that. So all is good. I have no complaints over here. Work is good, life is good, and this conversation gonna be good.
It's this conversation is going to be great. It's so interesting because we don't have spring break for young kids. We have March break, and then for university students, we have what's called Reading Week, which generally happens in February, and then our March break clearly happens in March. It's like the second week of March, so everybody's kind of off at the same time. But it was funny when I was going to Mexico that I realized it was spring break because it was so full, and I was happy we didn't stay in Cancun. We actually took our talents to Tulum instead, which is a little about 2 hours, roughly 2 hours away from Cancun. Because I just feel like if we had stayed in Cancun, I would have lost my crap because there were so many people. And I actually I go on a vacation to get away. I don't like resorts. I do not go to a new country to see a bunch of people from America and Canada. Like I'm just not interested. And so yeah, I was not interested in that. But that's amazing. I'm glad. I know Atlanta has a lot of traffic. It's been well, quite a number of years. Actually, I haven't been to Atlanta since COVID. So it's been a while, but I am going to make myself well. One day, guys, you're going to see us in the same room. I am going to take my talents to Atlanta and hang out with twins so we can do the show from the same room in the upcoming months. It's going to happen. As for my week, it has been busy. When you come back from vacation, of course, it is always busy, but we are gearing up for the busiest time of year at work. Again, if you don't know, I work for an awards body, so we produce the equivalent of the Oscars and the Emmys in Canada, and I run the partnerships department. So we have been super, super busy at work trying to get things done, last minute thing, but busy is good. So I cannot complain. I cannot actually this year for sure. I am gonna do some behind the scenes of what I deal with and put it up as a compilation video because it seems like you guys are interested in, the behind the scenes life. I need Twins to start doing his behind the scenes stuff. So, because I'd be out here just telling my business. Twins just keeps it like on like close to his chest, and I'd be out there showing my chest. So whatever.
Facts. No lies there at all. No lies.
Whatever, whatever we need to do. But definitely, I will start doing some more behind the scenes. You guys seem to like my Tulum behind the scenes of what I was up to up there, running around looking like Annalise Keating. But you know what? I got humbled in Tulum, but it's all good. I'm gonna work on that walk.
It was definitely behind the scenes in Tulum. If you don't know, check her page out. Behind the scenes.
It's definitely behind the scenes. I am going to be doing more of that. I do. I need to bring you guys, even though my life is actually quite boring when I'm not traveling or doing like something exciting for work. But I'm definitely going to bring it behind the scenes. But again, viewer discretion is advised. Be prepared to have some real conversations. Twins and I, again, if you are new to this show, we do not script this. We do not have a planning call for this. I literally send him the link to the show. I make a voice note about what our topic is going to be, and that is the extent of what we know. So, what we are talking about here is raw, it's real, it can get emotional. There is a lot of things to happen, and cheating is a very emotional topic. But we're going to get into it. We are going to get into it. So I'm gonna actually start and just ask the question right off the bat. Twins, have you ever been cheated on that
I'm
you
sure.
know of?
Right. I'm sure I have. I don't know. Like, I, we're gonna skip past elementary and middle school. Like that stuff really don't count. You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't doing that with the girl anyway. So if I was talking to a girl and she slept with one of my friends or whatever, it didn't matter because I wasn't doing nothing with her. So she belonged to the streets. But as far as an adult, when I start being active, if somebody did, I wouldn't know, and I appreciate them. Take it to the grave because I don't need to know. Right? But I'm sure I have. I'm not going to act like, oh no, I wish a woman would cheat on me. Man, I don't want to know. Honestly, if you do, I do not want to know. Take it to the grave. What I don't know doesn't hurt me. I don't care. But
We're
if I
definitely put a pin in that one because that's an interesting one. I'm going to put a pin in the take it to the grave one because I think
yeah.
that's interesting. What about the reverse? Have you ever cheated in a
Yes, I have.
relationship? Not like dating is not a cheating thing. Like committed.
Cheated, been caught, yeah, all that. Yep. We don't
Oh
keep it
damn.
funky up there. Yes, I'm not a saint. I'm not perfect. I strive to be better, but you gotta live. You gotta go through some things. You gotta learn some things, to be better. So yes, I have.
Okay, and we're gonna get back to that. I'm gonna answer my own questions. Have I been cheated on? Yes. That was the reason my first marriage broke up. I say first marriage as if I've had a second marriage, but I will in Jesus' name. Amen. Hey, dead daddy. But I was I was cheated on in my second relationship. I was cheated on. Funny enough, I am actually cool with the woman that I got cheated on when I was 19. We still talk. I no longer talk to the ex-boyfriend. If I see him, we're cool. But me and her, she wishes me happy birthday. Like we used to hang out with our kids when we were younger. We were young. She didn't know no better. 17, 18, I was 19. So much going on. And it's funny, I was thinking, even from those days, I was kind of like, girl, I'm not going to get mad at you because you don't owe me nothing. You owe me nothing. You like I literally said to her, you owe me nothing. And I was 19 years old. I was like, he owes me loyalty. You don't owe me shit. You don't know me. So I got cheated in my second relationship. I got cheated in my marriage. And I will also admit I cheated in my first relationship. We were together for 2.5 years, and I want to say right as we were like breaking up, I was 18. I had a little bit of a slip up, and that was that. But that was the only time. I don't even that shit don't even I think counts. But I'm gonna admit because we're being real here, that was the only time ever that I stepped out. I physically. have I maybe emotionally stepped out? Not that I would think, but maybe some of my exes might have think maybe I emotionally detached and was that, but I never felt like I emotionally cheated to the point where I was not available to my significant other. I'm always fully available emotionally because that's the piece about emotional cheating. It's when you become unavailable to your significant other. I'm always fully emotionally unavailable to my significant other. But let's talk about this. Let's talk about taking it to the grave. Is that your, I mean, it sounds like it's your preference, but what do you think about people who are like, if they don't know about this cheating, it don't matter?
I I totally stand by that. If I don't know about it, I don't have to worry about it. I'll just take it to the grave. I mean, like for honestly, what benefit will I get out of you telling me that, hey, I slept with this person? Why?
I agree.
What's the benefit telling me? Like honestly, what I don't even go through females' phones because I don't want to see it. There's some things you just men act like we act like we tough. We like all this. Man, fellas, if you go through your girl's phone, you're gonna see some shit is gonna fuck you up. And there ain't no coming back from it. Okay? So to keep your peace, your mental together, don't go through the female's phone. Don't go through her Facebook. Don't go through her Instagram. Don't go through her DMs or Twitter, whatever it may be. Just don't worry about it. Just control what you can control and try to be the best version of yourself for her. So maybe she don't cheat. But at the end of the day, we're all grown, right? And people gonna do whatever they want to do regardless. So I can't control you. I can't stop you from cheating, right? I can't. It's something that it has to be something that you want not to do. Not
That
for,
part.
so
Right.
so yes, for me, if any of my lady friends or exes or anything like that are watching the show, if you cheated, hey, I'm not mad at you. Just take it to the grave. I do not need to know. Still to this day, I do not need to know. I don't care.
I'm aligned. You know what? Like I will say clearly again. I just described knowing that two of my exes cheated. You know, most significantly, my husband cheated on me, and then he, you know, he had his infidelity was kind of in my face because there was a baby, but you know, whatever.
Mm,
I'm an affair baby, so for me it was maybe I felt it was my mother's karma coming on my ass. Like that's how I actually looked at it. I know some people will find that was strange, but when I found out that my husband had a baby, and technically he didn't he didn't have an affair and have the baby. We were in a long distance situation. He was dealing with some girl. He didn't literally wrap it up or wrap up the situation before I was headed to go and be with him, and the baby came out of that. So I was always like, technically, you didn't cheat on me to get the baby, but he did actually cheat on me once we said I do with that child's mother and God knows who else. Um, I wish I never knew. And I will say, if in any of my other relationships I've been cheated on, I don't want to know. Like for instance, if Rob had ever cheated on me, I do not want to know. Like, because for me, I want the memories of what that relationship was. And to me, that relationship was fine. We were great. It was amazing. So for me to hear years later, after the relationship is over, you know, he cheated on you, right? Or for him to come and give some confession. First of all, I am not the Pope. You don't need to, okay? I am not Catholic. You
yeah.
don't need to come and do fucking confessions with me. I'm good. You cheated, you stepped out, you take that, you deal with the conscience and you deal with your Lord. Do not bring that to me and have me have that on me because now my brain is going, when did the cheating happen? Why did the cheating happen? How did the cheating happen? How did I not know? And this image of this relationship that I'm perfectly fine to be in the Lululand with, that was fine. Now I'm all screwed up about it. Don't screw up my mental. Let that be your demons to carry. I'm good.
And also, too, ladies and gentlemen, let's be clear that, as you stated earlier in the conversation, before we got to the question, there's different levels of cheating. Not just the physical part; it's the emotional part. So I'm sure we'll get into that as well. But
Hmm.
you don't have to be intimate with another person to still cheat on your partner. Let's gotta make sure that's very clear. You do not have to have physical contact to cheat on your partner. Make sure you understand that.
I love that. And so that's going to get into my first myth about cheating. My first myth about cheating is that it requires sex. What it does is it requires intimacy with another person. And sex, which is intercourse, is very different than intimacy. And that is how a lot of women emotionally cheat.
Facts.
However, it is what often leads, and ladies, this is where you're going to get pissed off. This is what leads to long term affairs with men. Look it up, people. It generally has nothing to do with that man's physical attraction to the other woman. What it has to do with that woman makes him feel good. She makes him feel in a way he's not getting at home. And that is not to blame the wife. That is not what I'm saying, or the other partner. But there is a missing piece at home that this other person fulfills, which sometimes has nothing to do with physical attraction, which is why I caution women against saying, I wonder what she looks like.
That's it right there. They, I'm trying to stay on the flow of it, but when I did get caught cheating, that was always the question: what does she look like? You're worried about the wrong thing. You just you are you're completely worried about the wrong thing, and I say this all the time, tongue blue in the face. Men and women cheat differently.
Facts.
It's just a fact. It's not fair. I'm not saying it's right, but it is what it is. Men and women, we are totally different. As Let me not forget too off track.
Mm?
But as a man, I can have a woman at home who does A through Z with no problem. Every once in a while, I might want to step out and get some little pie on the side. That pie I get will never fuck up my cake at home. I don't care what she do, how she do it. I can hit it X, Y, Z. I'm not leaving my wife or my girl for you because I'm not attached to you. You're just you're fulfilling wherever I need it. If I didn't get the bust out nut, that's exactly what it is. It's just that. I'm not emotional attached to you. Like I said, I've cheated. I have never left a woman, a wife, or anything like that for the other girl. I
Mm?
don't care how good, whatever it is. Baby girl, you're not that special.
Mm?
I'm just getting what I need. Where I could be lacking or whatever I'm going through. It could be stress, could be a million things. The fact that you think I'm gonna leave you for my woman, that's see now. And on top of that, how can we build anything if I'm cheating with you with my I'm cheating with you? How can me and you have any type of trust or relationship?
Amen. Because listen, Jamaicans and everybody else, I'm sure, has to say the same way you get him is the same way you lose him. So it's interesting that you say that because women are always like, men are such cheaters. Who are they cheating with? Your friend? Your co-worker? The woman who braids your hair? The woman who does your nails? Okay, they've got to cheat with somebody. Heterosexual men have to cheat with someone, and it is another woman. So there is a second party to this cheating because I am not going to put myself in a position where I know a man is involved in a relationship. I know he's married and say to myself, yeah, I think this is where I want to land my plane. I want to plant my flag here because I'm going to show him just how good I am. So he's going to choose me. Choose me for what? I just made it readily available for him. And I just told him that I have low morals.
Without even saying it, it's the action part. You don't gotta tell me you got little Mars, just the actions. The fact that you let me do whatever I want to you and doing the bearable of nothing lets me know.
While you're talking to your other girlfriend on the phone, because I know you've had that situation where your girl probably call homegirls over there. in the bed like this in the corner. I said, like, yeah, baby, I'm just about to wrap up here. Give me like 30 minutes. I'm going to be home. And she's tonguing you down as you're walking through the door after she know, like, that's a negative. It's a negative. It's a negative. So like at the next women's meeting, ladies, I get it. I know again, those of us who have been cheated on, it can be tough. But first of all, go get healed and get an understanding because your man had to find a woman who was open to cheating on. Now, if he lied, because my father did that. My mother didn't know. My mother and I actually were just talking. My mother came over. My mother comes once a month and brings me dinner on Sunday because that's what she likes to do. And I love that for myself. So my mother and I were actually talking, and she, more and more as I get older, because in Jamaican's household, it doesn't matter how old you are a child and you stay in a child's place. And so for many years, I don't know about the dine. All I know was that I was born in an affair. But more as I get older, and I think my mom is getting older, she's revealing more. So my mom told me that she wasn't aware that my father was married until she was pregnant with me, like fully pregnant. And it was someone who told her, and she was like, I'm fully pregnant with a married man's baby. She told me that my father said that he had children, he had an ex-woman, and she still lived in the house with him. Now, my mother's 23, probably should have known better, but whatever the case might be. But he adamantly denied that that was a marriage, and still adamantly denied after it was found out about the affair. Love my daddy. Daddy, you're amazing. Love him. But he fully had an affair with my mom, and that's how I was born. So there are those situations where the man blatantly lies, but most men are not that great of a liars. I'm sorry, respectfully, twins, you guys don't lie that well. You guys' lies aren't intricate. Our lies are, because if I'm gonna cheat, I'm cheating with an army. Like I'm making sure that things are together. I'm getting a separate phone. I'm not cheating with my phone. So you look through my phone, you ain't seen shit. My Life 360 is gonna show you where I'm supposed to be, which is where I'm supposed to be. So my phone is staying at home. If I said I was at home, my Life 360 said I was at home, didn't it? Because I'm gonna have it like I am not about to cheat and get found out. You guys will be bubbling fools. Talk about up. I don't know. I'm gonna cheat sophisticated. I'm going to I'm not a cheater, but I would be cheating on that level. So let's just be very clear. Women have to be willing participants in the cheating of a man. What I will say to you, though, and let me ask you this: what was your reason or reasons when you stepped out? What led to you wanting to look outside of your relationship?
So I want to say I'm speaking from twins, speaking for me.
Mhm.
Can speak from anyone else. Everyone's situation is totally different. I would say for me, I'm a flirt. Okay, that's number one. Let's start right
I'm
there.
a flirt.
I'm a flirt.
R. Kelly.
So yeah, I'm a flirt. I'm a flirt. So that might be the main problem right there. Is that I flirt a lot, right? So that's definitely an issue. And sometimes the flirting goes beyond where it should, right? You know, you say this, say that, or she may say something, I'll say something, and I have to see how far it goes. It's kind of like see if I still got it, right? That's number one.
Mm.
You know
So
what I'm
it's an ego stroker.
saying? Ego
So
stroke.
so it starts. This flirting starts as a bit of a stroke to your ego. Okay,
Exactly.
let's keep going.
All right. Another reason would be, I mean, once again, we as men, we're not dead, right? So my eyes still work. Yeah, I might have glasses, right? I might have glasses, can't see things really well, but my eyes still do work, right? So, I'm still attracted to certain things because I got married or I have a girlfriend. I'm not going to be looking. Not that I'm intentionally trying to seek out, but it just happens. But y'all don't let, y'all make it hard for us. Y'all make it hard for us guys down here. You know what I'm saying? Because it could be as simple as I could be having a bad day, stress out work, whatever. Stress at work. And and then the woman who knows that I'm a good dude. Like I'm trying to stay on track. There's a lot going on. But I just say this: when you live in an area where it's 10-1, there's a lot of women out here, and there's not enough men for them. And if there is men out there, they don't play the same game. So what I'm trying to say is this: it's hard to be out here in certain locations when the numbers are 10-1. So these women who don't have a man, wants a man, and see that you're a decent man or a good man, it's tempting. The temptation is always around.
He's a good man, Spanner.
It is. It is. And then we're not even going to talk about if you're a guy who makes X amount of dollars because now you have options. But we're just going to stay where we're at right now. So I would say me personally, I never went out and intentionally looked and then found someone to have a side piece or something like that. It just didn't happen that way. It always been someone that was a cool coworker.
No,
Cool.
not the workplace romance.
Oh, for sure. And you know what I'm saying? And then, it could be something minor at home I'm stressing about. I'm stressing that person, and they know what to say. Oh man, you're a good man. I wouldn't do that to you. And did it. And the next thing, you're in the sheets. I mean, it's really hard. It's just a lot of things to incorporate. It's hard out here for the man. All men, but I'm speaking for our channel, right? Black men. So you understand that we're dealing with stress at work, we're dealing with stress at home, we're dealing with stress with the cops, we're dealing with stuff with just everything else. So that's another thing too. It's just that stress reliever. And then if you're at home, you're being stressed out and you can't get XYZ and y'all going through XYZ, it's so easy for that one little thing over there who likes you. And you know what I'm saying? Oh, baby, I'll take care of you. And first they start out with the food. They bring you food.
Not the food.
Yeah.
I've heard that though.
They start with the food, and then they start with small gifts, and things lead on. Conversation leads on the
What
next
about
thing.
women out here giving gifts to
See,
other people's men?
I'm sipping tea now, so I ain't gonna say much. But
My next husband needs to work from home. What are you talking about? Talking about women out here giving gifts. I have heard about the food. I have heard about all of a sudden they bring something for lunch. It smells good. They say taste it, and you say I like this. The next thing you know, they're bringing you your own Tupperware container ready to go, and then let you not say that your wife is not cooking for you. All of a sudden, there's a weekly thing that it's okay, baby, I got you. And then all of a sudden you get invited, and there's fried chicken, collard greens, and her ass on the table. But I digress.
yeah, listen, you understand? I can't be at work, and also too, it's the work environment too. If you work in a call center, oh my goodness.
You have said this before.
Yeah, it's yeah, but yeah, I can't be sitting, eating a
Peanut butter sandwich.
peanut butter sandwich or lunch meat. You know what I'm saying? With chips. I got the sandwich, the chips, a little snack. I think I'm doing something. I'm good. But then she comes up with the plate. Oh, you want to try some of these wings, some collard greens, some macaroni? Yeah. Because let's be honest, we know to a man's heart is through his stomach.
It's food. Yes. I used to send mines to work with his lunch. It's proper lunch. Because I would get up, make that man his breakfast, and be like, baby, you want, because I know that he's going off to work, and let him have some type of, like I said, crappy bologna sandwiches and stuff like that. I was not joking. So I would make sure that there was leftover, if it was a curry goat and or a curry chicken and rice and everything. No, I was not playing. I was not about to send my man with no sandwich. Mm-mm,
And also too,
mm-mm.
before we move on, and one last thing I'll just say too is like sometimes some men get tired of trying to negotiate getting the TLC from their woman.
Mm.
Like that's why that's why I'm committed to you. That's why XYZ. Why I got to jump through hoops. Oh, I'm tired of the night. Oh, I'm this. I'm that. The lady over there, she's whenever you're ready. She's ready. There's no days off. And when her friend comes, her mouth works. Trust me. There's no excuse.
That's my line. My mouth still works.
But there's no excuses when it comes to XYZ. So I'll land my plan there, and you ask more questions. I'll give you more detail, but I'll land there because I feel like I'm going over the place. But go ahead.
No. First of all, thank you for being honest, because honesty is so important. And a lot of people want to sit here and pretend that they have not been down that road. Like I said, I have been cheated on. And I have cheated when I was 18. I have not cheated since I was 18, but I did do it. And so it counts, right? Like we don't go ahead and replace our past and say, oh no, this is the reality. It happened. Doesn't matter if it happened 28 years ago, it happened. Now it's funny, I'm gonna go back to something that we were talking about earlier in terms of one of the first questions from women, and this is for you ladies, because I get it. I get it, ladies, because I have been cheated on and cheated on by my husband. And so sorry if Rosalie, am I missing messages? I'm so sorry if I'm out here missing messages. This thing is not going as fast as I would like. So Twinsky, if you can let me know if I'm missing something, um, so I can get back to that. I'm actually gonna pull this up on my iPad, so I'm not missing any messages because this thing be pissing me off every week. But I digress. But let's go back to that question in terms of what does she look like? Let me ask you a question. Has any of your exes ever asked you, how did she make you feel?
No, it never got to that point. It was always the main question: what does she look like?
Do you think it would have made a difference if they asked you, how did this woman make you feel?
I, um, I mean, yeah, and I probably would be able to get an answer for it. I mean, on top of good, right? The obvious, right? Of course, good for that moment. Um, she gave me peace, right? So, a safe place,
Hmm.
you know. So, because eventually, because honestly, you're really having another relationship. Pretty much, you have two relationships at the same time. That's pretty much what it is. So you building a relationship with this other person while you have someone else. So you get to know everything about them, they get everything about you. You can be free with them without being judged. Like you can tell them everything where you can't tell you what your woman that stuff because then it'd be used against you with X, Y, Z. But over her, she's more like a counselor. You can tell her everything. Shit, this psychiatrist. That's be a perfect example. As it's pretty much the side piece or other girl would be. She's pretty much a psychiatrist that's gonna let you fuck. She gonna hear everything. She gonna listen to everything you guys say. She gonna let you vent. She gonna understand. She gonna relate, and she gonna let you hit. That's all it is. And guess what? With no attachments. Hold on. With no attachments. Meaning that I don't gotta take her out. I don't gotta pay her bills. I don't gotta give her kids or watch my kids. None of that. She gets whatever I give her, and we understand that, and we're good.
Damn.
That's
So
exactly.
so so how does the woman at home at this point compete with that? Because it almost seems like now it's a bit of a competition, because if you're not getting this, and I don't want to use the word peace because I think everybody uses that, but if you're not getting, I'm going to call it emotional fulfillment. If you're not getting the full emotional fulfillment at home, because I think as much as we talk about men and how they cheat physically, I adamantly believe it starts again, and I'm not talking about all men because some men are just dicks and all they want is dick around. But I think with most men, there's an emotional trigger first, right? They're an emotional trigger first, and then it leads him to the intimacy. So if I'm not giving you emotional fulfillment at home, and I'm your woman, and your side piece, work lady, work wife, who's bringing you kalaloo, and I'm Jamaican, so I'm just gonna say kalaloo and dumpling and ackee and saltfish and all of that to
Selfish.
work,
Woo.
okay, to
Okay.
work, and fried dumpling. How is the woman who ain't giving you shit, but you love her because you love her? You're staying with her. You might have a family with her. You got some stuff going on with her. If there's no emotional fulfillment, why not just leave her?
Okay, so this gonna sound crazy as hell, but I'm gonna say it anyway, right? Here's why. We respect our lady at home. We respect her. We don't give a damn about the woman that we're doing XYZ with. No,
Even with the ackee and saltfish and dumpling.
she can have the ugly sauce, not me. She has the grilled chicken, all that good stuff. We don't care about her because it's, like I said, it's, like I said, it's crazy. I'm trying to explain it, but it's crazy. we still care about Our Lady. We respect Our Lady. That's why when we get caught, we trying to apologize. We trying to do X, Y, Z. Like,
Mm.
we know we fucked up because we know it's wrong and we know it's gonna hurt her X, Y, Z, right? But her over her, I don't give a damn about her. I can do whatever I want over here with her, how I want, and doesn't matter. She can buy me X, Y, Z, clothes, food, doesn't matter. I don't gotta do nothing besides give her a hard dick and bubble gum. That's it. Now, if I'm nice, I can do something nice for her, but at the end of the day, it's not required. But we do have an understanding because we do have a conversation. So it's not like she's being like, I'm still, even though I'm not giving nothing in the tangible thing, is there still kind of a respect thing as well? Because we do have a deeper conversation. We do have an intimate conversation, not just intimate stuff, but whatever we're talking about, I could be open with her and XYZ and
So
not be
your homies, and she just happens to have a vagina.
no,
How
we're not,
about you?
no. It's
No, because if you're able to be open with her in a way that you're not able to be open with your wife or your significant other,
uh-huh.
right? Like think about like conversations that you have with your boys. Like
Yeah,
you are free
yeah,
to no, just hear me out for a second. Follow me.
my boys.
Again, we talk about we want to be our man's best friend, yet we get again. This is why this show's called "Fuck Your Feelings." We get all in our feelings when our man actually wants to be our best friend. But now you've got this woman who you're confiding in. I'm going to go back to again. Emotional fulfillment is happening for her. You can be open with her. You can be honest with her. You can be free with her. You just also happen to have sex with her.
Right.
She's not. You said you don't love her the way you love the woman at home, but she is giving you that emotional fulfillment, that safe space to be able to be not yourself, but to be able to be free to not have to. Because I feel like sometimes in relationships we're walking this fine line that I really want to be myself, but I can't be myself because I'm gonna offend my partner, especially for males. If I really tell my woman what I really want to tell her, then she's gonna be pissed off, and I'm not gonna get sex, and now I got to deal with this bullshit. Blah 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 blah. But with homegirl over there, you don't worry about any of that stuff. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Am I
it does.
making sense, people in the chat?
Yeah, you're making sense. It's just the whole thing we say the homeboy.
Yeah, yeah. I said
We
homie,
say
not like
homeboy
your homie lover friend from back in the day. Remember they said homie lover friend?
because I'll say this as well. The reason why we don't use the homie type of thing because men who do step out, and I stepped out, I never tell my homies what I'm doing. Right?
Oh, I love that you said that.
They don't know what I'm doing. Like I don't know I'm stepping out and doing X, Y, Z. You know what I'm saying? We all talked about having girls and
Yeah.
side chicks, but we don't while we're in the act of doing what we're doing, we're not having that conversation because at the end of the day, you gotta have some kind of discernment because at the end of the day, you can't tell everybody your business because you tell your homeboy about what you're doing and don't let your homeboy like your wife or your girl.
Oh, true.
So no, we don't tell the homies
True.
everything. We tell homies the stories, things that we did do, but not what we're currently doing. That's a no. So no, I will never have this type of openness with the homies. Negative. Only with the ladies.
Pure R. Kelly references tonight.
I'm
I
just
love it. I love it. Welcome to the chat. Welcome. No, like I feel that, but I guess here is the thing for me that is so interesting, and I I want this to sink into the women who are the you're cheating with. You just said a mouthful. I ain't never leaving my woman for you. I'm not leaving her for you. Now it's happened. We all know sometimes it's happened, but how long does that really last? Because again, Jamaicans will always say the same way you get them is the same way you lose them. So if again you've shown yourself to be of low morals, because there's no, I am sorry, because there's ladies, there is no way I'm gonna be face down, ass up for a man, and 2 minutes later, that man is on the phone with his woman because your woman calls. It's a priority to answer and be on his phone with his woman, and then I'm you later. What the fuck I look like? That is insane.
So we had this conversation episodes ago. One thing that we have learned now, once again, we don't speak in absolute here, ladies and gentlemen. I bet this disclaimer: we do not speak in absolute. One thing I will say that most men that realize is that women like being upfront, like honesty, like being
That
up.
is true. That
So
is true.
the
That
reason
is
why
true.
that a woman could do everything that you just said because she know where she's at, she know where she stands versus the guy who say, "Hey, baby, you're my woman," and X, Y, Z, but then he's doing everything else with her over here. So it's like she has the opportunity because once again, when it comes to these side chicks or whatever, no one's forced into that role.
That is
Everyone,
true.
everyone agrees to the terms,
Hmm.
conditions, and understand what it is. So once again, don't speak in absolute, but like I said, most people don't catch feelings. Some people do. We understand. We see side girls go to the main house and knock on. Where's your husband? He's my man too. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that those women who do everything you just said, they know what they're signing up for, so they're not being blindsided. And some of them,
Here,
go ahead.
go ahead. No, no, no. Go ahead. Finish. Finish.
Okay, and some of them they have dealt with so many dudes who lie to them. When they get someone who's upfront with them, and they come to the terms like, you know what, even though he got his girl over there, or woman over here, or wife over here, and he's telling X Y Z up front, you know what, I'm signing up for this, and I'm cool with it because
But that's the okie doke, though. That's the okie doke. Yeah, believe this or not, because listen, last week I said it, and there's a clip that I have up, everybody, where I talk about our vaginas are connected to our heart. Our can we say vaginas? Okay, we're gonna go with pum pum because I don't think you two know what the pum pum is.
no, no,
Um,
no, no, no.
our pum pum is connected to our heart. So that sounds ideal in the beginning. Think about it. Yes, you were honest. You said, "Listen, I'm in a situation. I'm in a not even. I'm in a relationship. I have my woman. I'm not going anywhere. But if you want to get down with the get down, let's do that." And homegirl might say in the beginning, "Yeah, I'm cool. I'm not looking for anything either."
Okay.
Now you're spending time. Now you're confiding. Don't let the sex be good. Don't let the head be good. Then all of these things are all of these things are happening. That I wasn't looking for anything either eventually gets emotionally attached. Eventually that's where maybe a little bit of attitude comes in. Now, yes, there are some women who can hold it down and really are not looking for anything either. But here's the thing. If you're dealing with a woman who's been lied to, now you're telling the truth. Do you know how attractive that truth is? Then the sex is good. Like I said, then the head is good. Then the conversation is good. Then you guys might watch sports together. All of those different things. It's starting to seem like a makeshift relationship. So all of a sudden now she wants a relationship. That gets dangerous for everybody involved in this situation.
It does. It definitely does, and sometimes you just have to kind of reinforce it or kind of check the person like, oh, just remember now, like you have to, I mean, yes, your heart is connected to it and it can happen. No, it will happen. The
It
person
will happen.
does and will catch feelings, which is understandable, but you do have to have that conversation about, hey, I understand that you're XYZ, but I'm not leaving this. If you feel this way, we can start right now and we can be, before it gets too crazy or too deep. And sometimes we had a conversation with them, they snap back. Like, you know what? I'm tripping. You right. And you keep it moving. But I never had to deal with someone whose emotions got too caught up to where it was like trying to break up my situation.
Mm.
So, but I did have to have that recap. Like, hey, just remember, you're not my girl, not my lady. So let's stop right now. If you feel like XYZ, I'm cool. We can start right here and right now. No hard feelings. I got love for you. You always be my boo. Blah, blah, blah. But I'm not leaving. I'm clearly not leaving.
I'm gonna say that is such a different mentality, and this is no judgment. That ladies who have been in that situation, that's a different mentality to have, to know that you are essentially causing potentially irreparable harm to another person, even though the person, and we're going to get to the person you're cheating on in a second, and sleep well at night knowing that shit. And again, as a wife who's been cheated on, and that was I think that was my issue with the woman my husband cheated on. She also happened to be the mother, and this was only one of them, because who knows how many other women there were, but she was also the mother to the baby that he had. And so the moment she had a chance to try and call me and tell me that my husband had cheated, she took that chance. I think my husband was like out of her bed, went to work that morning, and she had called me. And she's going in and trying to tell me. And I think the worst thing best and worst thing I did for her is I didn't give a fuck. I said to her, "Are you done?" And she said, "Yes." And I said, "Thank you, because I'm gonna talk to my husband now." What do I have to say to you? You knowingly slept with my husband, hoping that that was somehow gonna piss me off and you were gonna get my husband. I'm not about to feed into your bullshit. I'm gonna talk to my husband because you don't owe me anything.
See, when it comes to that situation like that, see, I would say I didn't run to that problem right there, because if you did call my lady and said X, Y, Z, okay, well, bye, both of y'all. I'll get new ones.
Oh, not new ones. Hold on. So you would have left your woman if your woman felt, hold on, wait a minute, I'm a 90s girl. How does your woman get a stray bullet for you cheating? Explain that one to me.
Well, I mean, it is a stray in a sense. Well, because one, she can be mad, right? She can be pissed. She can be upset. And then if we can't get through whatever it is, right? Because I'm gonna let her know, like, she's nothing. It was just this, that, blah, blah, you know. And if she can get past that, hey, it is what it is. On to the next.
You just did a perfect setup for a clip we have to play. But let me tell you something. Here was the thing. That was, I think, the scariest thing for my husband, was that I wasn't mad. Now, I had a lot of shit happen that day, to be honest. Like, I had some of the worst news I'd gotten in a long time. And then this woman called me, and then I had to have a whole conversation with my husband. Like, why is this woman calling me, telling me that you were deep in her? Like, what is happening here? Why is this being brought to our front door? Now, she was over the phone, but I felt now it's being brought to the front door, because, again, I'd rather not freaking know. Like, why is this woman feeling emboldened enough to call your wife, to tell your wife some shit that, what are we doing here? So I didn't actually get mad. But what I will say is, what you were not going to do is tell me how long my healing is supposed to take, because I have found out. So that is going to lead actually into the clip we have to play, because I have some thought. I have edited this clip down because ain't nobody got time for 3-minute clip. But I want to hear, I know, Twins, you've seen this, but for those in the chat, I want to hear your thoughts about this, because I have some. Here we go.
When I first met my wife, I was in a situation and going to prison. She rode with me the whole 3 years I did 30 days of being home. I married her. In the first couple months of marriage, I cheated with my ex. And hold on, in my defense, no matter what I do, how many tears I've cried or how much I put in, she won't heal. And how long does it take for her to actually heal, to see me for the man that I am and not the man that I once was?
How long has it been since the last time you cheated?
It's been under 6 months.
Under 6 months.
I know right now that you are not analyzing her healing right now when it's been under 6 months. On average, it takes 2 years to get over one offense. And that is with the help of your partner in the healing process. You know how hard it is to look at yourself in the mirror when a man that you love has been cheating on you? It's bad enough I can't look at myself in the mirror, then I have to constantly be reminded every time I look at you. And then now you being performative, trying to do all of these things. It's A, B, C, D, E, F, G to make me feel good, but you ain't really got to the core of what you actually did to me. And you ain't do it just one time. You did it multiple times. There is no excuse for that. That woman needs time. Right now, since you being provisional, go pay for her a trauma therapist. Because you just caused this woman CPTSD. Go pay for her a therapist who's going to actually sit down and talk to her. And if it takes her 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. Do you have the capacity to help her heal for the process that
When I first met my wife,
Amen.
I was
Hold
in a
on one
situation
second.
and
I am
going to
back here.
prison. She rode
Now
with me the whole 3 years
that's
I
that
did.
part from me that if you cheat on me and I do not leave you, because for me, cheating isn't a automatic I'm out the door. I mean, I proved it with my husband. I was not immediately out the door. It took me a little bit more and then 2 more babies, but that's another story for another day. The DNA test did not come through before I left him, so I don't know if babies were actually his. However, what you're not going to do and what you're not going to tell me is how long I should take to get over that. I will say something else though, but what I cannot do and should not do is remind you every day what a piece of shit you are for cheating on me. Because if I'm going to stay, I'm acknowledging that you've done a bad thing. I'm acknowledging that that bad thing hurt me. But what I'm also saying is that I want to love you through this, but you have to love me in return. And telling me that I have to heal based on your schedule is what we're not going to do.
No, that's fair. That is completely fair. Because who are you to say when someone is mentally, at a place where they can be moved forward? Like, you caused this, so if it takes 1, 2, 5, 6, 7 years, it is what it is. But like you just said, though, if you decide to stay, ladies, if you decide to stay in a relationship, knowing your man cheated, stepped out, you do not get to use that as your big joker from a people play spade. Anytime you get an argument, you cannot use that going forward. For real, you can't, because you decide to stay. Now, if you can't handle it, then leave. But you do not get to use that. And if you keep using it, that's what he's going to do. He's going to do it again. Because I mean, I know I would. If I cheated on you and you found out and we got past it and you keep using that, then I'm going to keep doing it. Like, you know what? I'm a cheater. Let me confirm. Let me make your dreams come true. Let me just. You say I'm that. Okay, let me be that thing.
That is such a, but the thing is, I get it. Like, I get that piece. Believe it or not, I get it. But what I think is we have to be able to have an open and honest conversation. And this is where I talk to the ladies. And the open and honest conversation has nothing to do with what she looks like. Because I am going to tell you this. My husband had a baby on me. That woman has dropped off the baby to our home, and I never once saw what that woman looks like. Ever. Either I was conveniently not at home, or my husband would do it, but I never made it a point to go see what that woman looked like, because it didn't fucking matter, because he still slept with her. So she could have looked like a gargoyle. What the hell does it matter? Because my husband decided to step out on our marriage and our vows and still sleep with her. So it was inconsequential to me what she looked like. But what I wanted to know was why. Why?
The why, I think the why is more important than what she looks like.
Thank you. Why? And I want affirmative answers. Why? And even if those answers put me in a position where he says, listen, you weren't emotionally meeting my needs, you weren't sexually meeting my needs, whatever it is, I needed to sit down, shut up, be quiet, and listen to that, because only by answering the question why, and they always say that, the Japanese or the Chinese ask why 7 times. There's a reason for that, because the more you ask why and the more you get the answer, the more you get the full story. So I don't give a shit what you look like, but I did want to know why. And what was she giving you that I wasn't? What were you missing in our relationship? What did you think the outcome of this was going to be? Like, I wanted to have the difficult questions. And do you know how difficult it is to not know what a woman looks like who's dropping off a baby to your house?
Well, I mean, the why and what is very important. Now, what she looks like doesn't matter.
Don't care. I did not care.
It's an episode, season, whatever it was. We have Midnight Monsters. So it doesn't matter what she looks like. She could be a dime. She could be a 10. Well, I'm saying the same thing. She could be a 0 when she could be a diamond.
A gargoyle.
Doesn't
A
matter.
big back. You know how I feel about big backs. You could be a big back.
So you harping on what she looks like means nothing because she can look like a gargoyle, but have all the other traits that if I can put her looks on you, she might be a perfect woman. But to see, you ain't trying to have that conversation because some of y'all think because y'all look good and that's it. That's all you need to do, just show them be pretty. But then the other girls who not as pretty as y'all does everything else, just don't have to look. See, y'all ain't see, you're not ready for that conversation because I'm gonna hurt some of y'all feelings.
No, let's do it because that is one of the myths about cheating. Listen, I've been pretty from I came out of my mother's kitty cat, okay? I was a cute baby. I was a pretty young girl. And even when I was going through my acne periods, I was still pretty. And my body went bubba bubba boom because I ran track. I had this body. They used to call me horse legs in high school because I had strapping legs and an ass to match from I was like 14 or 15 years old. It is the reality of what I look like. And that never stopped. Having these breasts, having these thighs, having these ass, having this face never stopped a man from cheating me. So I was never disillusioned enough to think that my looks alone was going to make a man say, oh no, I've got Toshiba now, so I will never cheat. She is God's gift to my life, and therefore I can never say, like, I was never disillusioned to think that. So let's really get into it, twins. Let's talk about that myth of women think that because we look good, or we even, again, give you all 3 holes, that is just enough for you not to cheat. Give it to them. Let's talk about it.
Well, it's not enough. So, yes, you may be beautiful. You might, you know what I'm saying? You might be the arm candy that I need to walk around XYZ to bring you around the corporate events. Yeah, she might be that. But then your attitude's nasty, right? You might
Let's talk about what it looks like to have a nasty attitude. Because I think people hear that and they think it's got to be yelling and screaming and cussing and all the neck rolling that people do. But that, like, let's talk just again, you don't speak for all men, but for twins. What does a nasty attitude look like?
Nasty attitude looks like is you know, based on the looks, you think you're better than someone because you just look better than them, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That type of thing. You the cockiness, the like, oh, look at her. Oh, man. Meanwhile, your breath stink, but I don't say nothing because I don't want to hurt your feelings. But you know what I mean? Like, it's a lot of things that, and mind you, it goes both ways too. It's like I'm pretty sure we hold back stuff too, but it's a lot of things that we say. If we did as men, if we said a lot of things that we see on a daily basis from you, you're not all that, baby girl. See, everybody sees the finished product of you. I could just see you with the hairnet, the makeup, and all this stuff. You spend 20 hours in the morning just getting ready to go to work. Like, I see all that. I see the same PJs you wear every goddamn day.
I'm done.
Like, all that. You don't take a shower early in the mornings or only at nights and whatever it may be. I see all this. Like, I see the behind the scene. So, and then also, like, nasty part too is like, let's say we out to eat, getting something to eat, and the woman, she's helping us out as a waitress. You being mean to her. Like, well, she ain't have to pick this job. No, you don't have a job. Like, makes sense. So it's like, it just, the attitude would do it by itself. Just you think you're better than somebody because you look better than someone. So there is a thing called pretty privilege, and pretty privilege will get you in certain places and meet certain different men. That's true. That's 100% accurate. But then once we get you and get to know you, it's like, I do all this for you, but you really not a nice person. You're really an asshole. You look good, fat ass, XYZ, yes, all that. You got all that, but you're not really a good person. And it's like, damn. That's the main thing when I say nasty. That's what I'm about. Your attitude.
Thank you for that, because I think that piece matters, because you're right. Pretty privilege is a thing, and a lot of men don't want to mess up a good thing with a pretty woman to ever tell us that our attitude is nasty. They make us think our shit don't stink. It smells like potpourri all the time. Seriously.
So yeah, and then also, like I said, I think how you talk to people, how you deal with your friends and family, all that matters. Oh, look at that. Yes. There we go.
Yep. Thank you, Jan Hayward, for one. A nasty attitude could be an aggressive tone, unaffectionate, unapologetic. So it's another word to say the accountability piece that you like to talk about, twins. And ungrateful. Oh, we're gonna have to touch on that ungrateful one.
Yeah, because you feel entitled.
Oh,
That's why you're supposed to get this. I'm supposed to have that. I'm supposed to not do this. You're supposed to pay the bills because you the man. You know what I'm saying? All that. You're just not a nice person. But by the time I realized that, it was kind of too late because some people play a certain role to get what they want. So while you courting each other, she was doing X, Y, Z. But once you really got her, or maybe she's pregnant now, or she has a kid now, or I'm married now, it's too late. Oh damn! Now she see the real side of herself. And then once that happens, like there's no way to keep them accountable. Who's going to check them? You don't wash clothes, or you don't do something unless I do it. Like I got work 80 hours a week, still come home and do everything else because you don't feel like it.
you are right. A lot of women are not ready for that conversation because, and again, I'm gonna be clear. It is more of us that fare on the more attractive side. A lot of us on the more attractive side are not ready for that conversation because sometimes we have lived in a space where men were not keeping it real with us. They didn't tell us shit. They weren't telling us the truth. And so this idea that I could be the problem that contributed to my man cheating, oh, clutch my pearls.
And also too, they'll factor in the fact that I can get anybody I want. You know what I'm saying?
We cannot. Wait, let me pause here.
Go ahead.
Let me just dispel that myth right now. Ladies, that is untrue. We cannot get anybody we want. What we can get is men who want to have sex with us. And I'm going to say this lesson, and I've been saying this lesson since season 1 of the show. We're in season 9. There is a difference between attention and intention. Yes. If I want sex right now, I got a couple of men that I can call right after the show who will pull up in my driveway and be getting it down in about an hour. Not an issue. Will that same man be ready to commit to me because I can get any man I want? No. So we cannot. We have holes because Big Back Brenda is getting the same thing too. Big Back Brenda got a few people in her phone that she can go to, girls. So it doesn't matter if we look like this and all the high titties and that don't matter. We cannot get anybody we want. Like, let's just get that shit out of the way. Go back, twins. Sorry, I just need to make that disclaimer.
I mean, you hit on the nail there. So, I mean, I'm just pretty much saying the things that, that kind of cause or what we see behind the scenes that everyone else don't get to see. And some reason why we may step out. Or, you know what I'm saying? Or very combative or, I mean, pretty much the last post that you put up pretty much touched every single one of it. That's pretty much on the nail.
That ungrateful one from me is something that I've heard all the time. And again, this is why we said this was going to be an uncomfortable conversation, and we're going to wrap up shortly because, again, twins gets up early. But I think that ungrateful piece is something that a lot of people don't think about because they think gratefulness is simply because they said thank you. Well, I said thank you. Right? I said thank you. Or you should know I appreciate you. Right? You should, like, shouldn't you already know this? And so for you, what does appreciation look like through words and through actions? Because I think some people think that a man is, because there's this whole thing online now about these men want to be treated like queens too. And men want to be passenger princess, as if that type of treatment is only for women. Do you know what I'm saying? Like that type of treatment of giving your partner a gift or just saying, hey, honey, you drive fucking 30, you've driven 30 times the last time. Let me drive today. That's a man wanting to be a passenger princess, which I think is some bullshit. But let's talk about that. What does appreciation look like for you?
First, I want to say it's passenger king, not princess.
Yeah. But no, I'm telling you, the online ladies are calling it passenger princess when I think it's stupid. But
Right.
that's what they be saying out here.
I was put out there like, yeah, we want to be passenger king. We just sit back, go on our phone, eating snacks, looking at stuff. Oh, babe, we didn't go over there. Yeah, we want to do that sometimes. Anyway, yes, the affirmation saying things does help, right? But we can tell when you're saying it versus you really mean it. We know the difference. Especially if you've been with your certain partner for a certain time, you know when they're giving you bullshit. I don't gotta explain what it looks like. You've been in a long-term relationship, you can tell somebody's giving you that, oh, thanks, babe, I appreciate it, versus, oh, babe, I really wanted this. Like, you know the difference.
Yeah.
We're not gonna indicate those.
So it's genuine appreciation instead of performative appreciation.
Right. It's not the, oh, thanks, babe, or like I was supposed to buy you this. I'm supposed to do a goddamn thing besides wake up, breathe, and die. Be technical with it. But anyway, that's another conversation. But yes, those things, actions have to match it up as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it's not that we want to be treated like princess. We want to be treated like kings, maybe prince. But, because being a man, not just black man, but being a man is tough work.
It's hard.
Hey.
I would never, if I woke up tomorrow and I was a man, I'd be so mad at life.
Like,
I don't want no parts of it.
Y'all understand that as a man, you have to be 24/7 ready to go all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you go to a little, you go to a little restaurant, a little bar, get some food real quick. Like when I walk in, I'm looking at the exits. I'm make sure my back not against the door. If I gotta get out, here's this, I'm creating this plan as we walk in. First 5 minutes before we sit down and get the menu, I'm always looking at the scenery, and if anything pops off, I gotta make sure I get you or my kids out, whatever it may be. But you're like, oh, I want this drink. Oh, I'm gonna try this. Oh, babe, look at this, look good. I see that too, but y'all in La La Land. But I'm like, this dude over here at the table, he looks kind of suspect. I keep an eye on him. Like, there's no break time for a man. Out, working and coming home, we're always in that mode at all times.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have the luxury to come in the house and just walk in and forget to lock the door. No, I gotta make sure the door is locked. You never know who's coming in. You see a few people coming in with guns, just walking people's house.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm always on go. So there's never, most times, most men, we're never really at rest mode. We're never at a time where we just chill. I can just sit down and shut down. We can't. We just can't. We always have to be go. So if that makes sense.
I get it, because you're right. Listen, I understand when I'm with my daughter, I am that person who, again, I make sure my back is not against the door, all that stuff. But when I'm with my man, I'm not thinking about all that. I'm like skipping down the street. I'm like in La La Land. I don't know. Oh, a car's gonna hit me. He's just his body's there. It's gonna hit him first. Like I don't have to think about that. And a man, like you said, is always on go. So I get that. So I think, just to wrap this up, I think, listen, first of all, if you've ever been cheated on, my first thing to you is get therapy. Get some help. You need to talk this through, because especially if you decide to stay in that relationship. Also, not saying that if you don't stay, you shouldn't get therapy, but definitely get therapy if you decide to stay. Go ahead, twins.
Also, to that, excuse me for jumping as well. Also, to ask the question why. Find out the reason why. Try to get an understanding. Because I talked to this one lady on social media a long time ago on Clubhouse, not too long ago, a while during COVID. And she was with her husband for, let's say, 15 years plus. And he cheated one time and she divorced him. And I asked her a question. I said, so do you
Hold on. She divorced him after 15 years?
Yes, because he cheated.
Okay.
Just because he divorced.
I'm not about to start over.
Right. So she divorced her husband. She said it's in the room talking to everybody. She divorced her husband because he cheated. And I was like, okay, I understand. Everybody's entitled to what they want to do. I had one question for her. I said, so why did he cheat? I don't know. I never asked him. You never asked him? So how do you know it wasn't something that you caused? How you know?
Oh, you don't want to have that conversation, because most people being cheated on don't think that they had any fault in the cheating.
Right. How can you prevent from anyone else cheating on you if you don't know what the reason is? Not saying you're the reason,
I don't need to know the reason. That man was a cheater.
and that's why now you're now XYZ years old, never getting married again. Because ladies, you do have to understand, y'all have timetables. Everybody can't be J Lo, who's over collecting rings like she Thanos. First off, let's be clear. She is a actress. She makes millions of dollars. She has a great makeup. She gets to work out every day.
Oh no, her body's
Her
tea.
body. So yes, she can still look good. She can be married 5, 6, 7 times and still get rings because she still looks good. Most women don't do that. Most women don't even work out.
That part.
And I want to hear, well, what about you, man? Listen, we can, as long as we got money, we can get whatever we want. Not any.
Let me just tell you though, them white women be in the gym. Just so you know, I'm gonna tell you right here. When I am in the gym, I am surrounded by white women. There is a sprinkling, and I live in the city of Toronto. Okay,
Listen.
where there is a sprinkling. I don't know what it is like in Atlanta, but there is a sprinkling of black women, and it's me and the white women there doing our squats and our. Okay, I'm just saying, but
I can say this too as well because I do have some side gigs. I work early in the morning, and like I said, I'll be up 3 o'clock in the morning. Ever they be, and I say they, not black women, but white women and other women, they be outside running, and it's dark. Okay, it's dark.
Running.
It's dark out there. They be running. I'm talking about not just running like this. So they get it in. Don't have excuses. Don't say I want to mess my hair up on this. And anyway, the point I'm trying to say is that.
Not Thanos was actually very hilarious. Let's go on.
But the point is that she really threw her way her whole marriage because he cheated, but she never found out why he cheated. And I think that's so important to find out why, because if it's something that because maybe it wasn't something she could, maybe it wasn't something she did, right? But she would never know. So when she gives it a new person, she could probably doing the same thing she did with the first marriage and don't know that it's this one thing that's causing him to step out. So
you literally just took the words out of my mouth in terms of like, if you leave the relationship, you have to understand why this happened.
Closure.
So that you don't go into the new relationship with the baggage from this old relationship. And that's why I talked about it in the beginning of the show, right? Asking why. Instead of asking what this bitch look like, ask why. I had to ask my husband why. Why did you cheat? I need to understand, and don't give me the superficial bull crap. I want you to go deep. And it's going to hurt. But the thing about is therapy does hurt. And that's what and that's why a lot of us avoid it, because we don't want to go through the process of breaking something down to build it back up. Therapy was one of the most expensive healings I've had to do, but that shit was well worth it. I was paying a hell of a lot more than I paid to go to the gym. Let me just tell you, to go to therapy, but it was important because my future partner did not deserve the baggage of my previous partner. That is not fair, because you're going into it. And I know it's tough, because here is the thing. People start saying, why are you putting the onus of cheating on me? Because you are still emotionally impacted by the actions of someone else, and you do not want the actions that you take from that to then impact the new person, because it eventually impacts you, because you keep doing the same thing, which is the definition of insanity, right? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. This is what happens if you don't get to the bottom of the reasoning, because I'm gonna tell you, there are perfectly great, wonderful men who have cheated. Some of the men that we admire, I mean, not going to put no names on here, but some of the men, ladies, and some of these hashtag couple goals, and some of these basketball players who you admire, and you say couple goals, they have cheated. Did their wives go and leave them? They probably dealt with some shit, but they didn't leave. They didn't. And I know it's easy because we're emotional. We're emotional. It's emotion. I'm going to tell you, there is no way after 15 years I am leaving my husband. I get why you leave, because why would you cheat on me after 15 years? That is it. And I think that's the problem people ask. Not why did you cheat on me, instead of also what led you to the cheating? When did this feeling start? Because it didn't start when he cheated. There was a buildup and stuff that happens. And it's difficult when you are the one being cheated on to be asking some of these questions, because you don't actually want to hear the honest truth. Because as much as we ask for honesty in a lot of things, a lot of us as women, we don't want to hear it, because the world actually isn't honest with us. The world lies to us a lot as women. And so when a man is telling us the truth, the genuine truth, we can't deal with it, because so much of the world has lied to us. And that shit, listen, ladies, I've been cheated on. It does not feel good. I would have been married to this day. I got married in 2008. I would be 18, almost 18 years strong married. But I started to realize, and it wasn't just because he cheated, it's because, again, my husband just wasn't ready to be a husband. My husband wasn't ready to be a husband. He wanted a wife, but he wasn't ready to be a husband. That's why I left my husband. I could have dealt with the cheating. I can't deal with the fact that he wasn't ready to be the type of husband that I needed or wanted. That is a different reason for leaving my marriage. I didn't just leave because of the cheating, even though that cheating hurt. It hurt more that he just couldn't be the type of husband that I needed him to be. So I had to go. But I had to still have the conversation with him to find out, because I did not want to repeat the same mistakes, potentially, because I have to take my ownership in it. And that piece is tough for you when you've been cheated on. You know what I'm saying? Like that piece of what part did I play in this? Did I play a part in this? You know what I'm saying?
In most cases, the other partner versus whoever, man or woman, plays a part in it. Most people, once again, don't speak in absolute. Most people don't wake up one day and be like, you know what?
I'm gonna cheat on my wife.
Yeah. It's like, you know what? Oh man, slept good. Thank you, Lord, waking me up. You know what? I think today's the day. I'm gonna give me a side piece. I don't know why. Yeah, no, it's a build-up. It's a build-up. And as soon as your significant other, you know what I'm saying, starts venting to another opposite sex, that's when you have a problem. That's when you have problems. So if you can keep the venting in-house only, cool. And also if your significant other is going through something, or listen to them. Because I'd rather you vent to me about XYZ versus you venting to someone else at work. Because I know what that leads to.
I'm gonna put my tambourine hands up. That was a great way to end that, because we're gonna go into our relationship tips. And this was heavy, guys. And again, I did this disclaimer in the beginning because cheating is a very sensitive conversation. I think Twins and I have been very open and honest, and we hope you've appreciated our open and honesty. And again, if this triggered anything in you because you've been cheated on, or you're the side chick, or you're the person who cheated, seek therapy. Like I say that genuinely. I know what therapy has meant to me in my life to deal with whatever unresolved issues I might have, and it will help you too. But let me get into my relationship tip.
Okay.
Do a monthly relationship inventory with your partner. And what does that look like? Sitting down and having an honest conversation about the state of your relationship. Are you happy? How can I love you better? Am I loving you in a way that you can receive? What could we improve to our relationship to take it to that next level? And these are conversations that you don't just have when you're having problems. If you understand what potential pitfalls might be coming, you can deal with them. That is a proactive way to be in a relationship. Many of us are reactive in our relationships. We react when something is happening, but we don't take an opportunity to say, could there be something brewing? And I will say, when this is happening, be honest with your partner, not rude, because some of us, you don't need to be rude and do whatever, but have a honest, open conversation so that you guys can mitigate any issues. And that's assuming you want to keep the relationship. If you don't want to keep the relationship and you're just here wasting time, this does not apply to you. But if you're intentional in this relationship, and again, this relationship could be marriage, engaged, or just in a committed relationship, and you want this to go the long haul, you need to do a monthly relationship inventory, starting with this question: are you happy? Not, did I make you happy? Very different. Are you happy? So let's start there, because an unhappy person can't feed you emotionally in a relationship. So that is my relationship tip.
Okay, so I kind of opposite, but still on the same topic. So I got a few here, maybe throw at you. So first one, if you're gonna cheat right. Use protection.
Oh, please.
Don't bring home no STDs. Don't bring on HIV. Damn sure don't bring no kids home. Right. And if
don't bring no kids home.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And also, and also don't embarrass yourself or your family. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like
having women call your wife, but I digress.
That too, but you out in the public where other people can see you, know damn well, like you're married or XYZ. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying, look, life's going to happen, right? So I'm not co-signing none of this. But what I'm saying is that I cheated before, and I'm just saying, if you're going to do it a certain way. So make sure you cover yourself. Make sure you don't disrespect yourself and be out in the streets looking all crazy. Yeah, definitely have the conversation at home. If you feel like, you got to understand, is this something that is a one-off, or is something that you're going to keep doing? So you need to either like, what, should I stay in a relationship, or should I just let it go because I'm not in a place to be, a faithful guy? Have these conversations. Have these difficult conversations. Because at the end of the day, the other person doesn't deserve it, especially if they're not doing. Okay, I'm not going to say they're innocent, but if they're not cheating, I'll say that. If they're not cheating either, then, try to be honest with them, because once again, it is cause and effect. I hate to say it, but it is cause and effect. Some people just don't wake up and it happens. Things happen at home, conversations, communication. Have the conversation. Be open with each other. Be honest with each other. If you're struggling with something, have the conversation. Babe, I'm struggling with this. Have the conversation. The only way we can become better is talking to each other and work through these things. But once again, I'm done. But if you're going to cheat, do it right. Wrap up. No kids. No STDs. I'm done.
Before we wrap, this is actually a great way to leave the show. If you can't be good at it. That's what they got from your tip, twin. It can't be good. Be good at it. I love that. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining the show. You have actually been killing me all night. I should have actually been letting the comments flow so people who have the replay can watch this next week. I'll make sure that I do that. But no, that was a great way to end. And I'm actually going to say, last thought on this. There's a difference between a cheater and someone who cheated. Know the difference.
I agree.
And if you're going to stay, know which one you're staying with. Because staying with a cheater is never going to turn out well. But staying with someone who cheated could still be okay.
Yes. We're all human. No one's perfect.
Know the difference, ladies and gentlemen. So we appreciate you. Thank you so much for those of you in the comments. Make sure you like this before you leak. Like, share, Share with your friends. I think this is a great conversation. Share our mini clips, share our shorts, share all of that. Make sure you tell your friends to come here to Fuck Your Feelings, the show where we are changing the conversation around Black relationships. And we will see you next week. We appreciate you. Good night. Good